Hello everyone, welcome back to Ayumilove channel for another Awaken Curiosity content. In today's video, I'll be quickly going over Jonathan's skills, and he is one of the epic water affinity heroes that was revamped on the 19th of May 2022. So let's check out his skills together. So this is my Jonathan. I have already promoted him to 6 star and also leveled him up to level 60. So let's quickly check through his trait and abilities. So for his trait, he has this trait known as Sacris Custodia, which grants a team-wide shield equal to 10% of this character's max health for 2 turns upon the release of any area ability. What this means is if the enemy performs an AoE attack, this will trigger Jonathan's AoE shield to be generated. However, if the enemy perform like a AoE buff to themselves like Wind Strikes or Brand, this will not be triggered. And once you have ascended him to the second ascension, as you can see here, you'll be able to increase the shield capacity from 10% up to 20% of this character's max health. Alright, so let's quickly go through his first ability here, which is the Righteous Raid. Deals 100% to an enemy and applies Unhealable to the target for 2 turns. Previously it was Silence, and now it's changed to Unhealable, which makes him useful against heroes that relies heavily on healing to sustain themselves, such as like Mitasia, Blackhorn, Rodira, and those heroes that uses healing to support their heroes. Apart from that, you can use this in Wrathful Flood, one of the No Man's Land dungeon for stage 10 and 11, as well as Queen of Tides boss, where the right target will heal the boss, and this would be able to prevent the right target from healing him or from healing her. And now they have added an additional damage boost, which is the damage skills with the amount of this character's max health. Basically, this skill will deal damage through the attack stats as well as the critical and critical damage. And on top of that, this will deal true damage, similar to Charles and Rogi, the elite heroes. And the damage dealt for this is based on Jonathan's 10% of his max health. And his second ability, which is the Brilliant Boost, this is his special ability, which has a 3 turn cooldown. Basically, it just removes all negative effects from this character and restores 30% of his max health and grants a bonus turn at the end of the turn. However, this skill is a double-edged sword because it also can be is useful for like PvP areas like Arena and Void Tower Heart. However, this is not a good skill because it will interrupt the sequence of when to apply the Unhealable to the enemies such as the Wrathful Flood as well as the Queen of Tides. And finally, Jonathan's ultimate ability, Spiral Slash, which has a 4 turn cooldown, deals 120% damage to all enemies and applies an AoE defense down and attack down. He is one of the first heroes who is able to apply both debuff as an AoE, and this debuff lasts for 2 turns. And the damage dealt by this skill will be the same as his basic ability, which deals the basic damage from the attack critical rate and critical damage, as well as 10% of this character's max health, which this skill description does not specify. Alright, so here are his stats. Basically, I gear him with a high amount of health, speed, and focus. I want him to go first in a battle to apply the AoE defense down and attack down, and he will need the focus to apply them. And to benefit from his AoE shield, you need to stack a high amount of health. I've previously tested him with high amount of attack, critical and critical damage, but the damage is too little. I guess the developers have forgotten to tweak his health to be an A rating and lower his attack to B rating, because his health is pretty low compared to most of the support heroes in the game. And apart from that, it's very hard or very difficult to build with high speed because he has a very low base speed. So I will recommend the Ace developers to adjust Jonathan's health and speed to be higher and lower down the attack stats, and maybe improve the defense rating from C to B. And currently I'm gearing him in a Revival Sword to allow him to sustain himself by restoring his health at the start of his turn. And let's quickly go through the equipment. So basically, this is my weapon that has some speed, focus, critical rate, and resistance is optional. This is the helmet with some attack, critical rate, critical damage, and health. This one is suitable for an attacker hero. And this one is the chest plate with some health, defense, and focus. This is speed boots to compensate his low base speed. And this is a health ring with some focus and defense. And finally, we have a health necklace with some health focus and defense. This is one of the worst subsets that I have here. So probably I'll change this once I have a better gear. The recommended gears for Jonathan I have in mind would be Terra set, Revival set, Raptor set and Raider set. Terra set is used to boost up his health so that he'll be able to generate a larger shield. Revival set allows him to heal himself every time he takes a turn so that he'll be able to survive in a lengthy battle. And for Raider set, since he has a very low base speed, probably having a Raider set will boost up his speed to go first in the battle, to apply the AoE defense down and attack down. And finally, Raptor set will be useful for him to apply those negative effects for a higher difficulty dungeons that has higher resistance. So let's check Jonathan in action in the No Man's Land dungeon as well as the Arcane Dominator like Queen of Tides and Roaring Tulpa. And finally the arena. Since I've already completed the Void of Heart, I won't be able to show him there. Alright, so for the first showcase, I'll be using Jonathan in the Wrathful Flood, and for this team, I'll be using Jonathan, Gangelo, Santis and Bulin. So Bulin is here to clear off the first wave. You can replace Bulin with any AoE attacker such as like Hydrisia. And then Jonathan's role here is to apply his Unhealable through his basic ability. That's the reason why I disable Jonathan's ability here. So to prevent the boss from healing himself each time he takes his turn. And it's recommended to use a poison attacker hero such as like Santis and Gangelo to take down the boss quickly because the boss has a high amount of health. If in case your heroes or your team's unable to survive the AoE attack, you can always replace one of the poison attacker heroes with another supporter hero such as Yolanda to provide the shield to mitigate some of the absolute zero negative effect damage to the shield. And the negative effect cannot be removed by any cleansing. The damage dealt by the absolute zero is based on 20% of the hero's max health, which works similarly to poison, so just take that in mind. And this run took around about less than 1 minute to complete. Alright, so we are now in the Roaring Tulpa Stage 12, so let's showcase Jonathan there. I'll skip the formation to show you the team. So currently I have Jonathan, Zedlux, Hagrid and Santis. Jonathan is here to showcase his skills, where he's able to apply the AoE defense down and attack down. Zedlux is my primary damage dealer to wipe up the first two waves. Hagrid is there to support my heroes with additional defense and increased max health. He synergizes well with Jonathan to boost up his health so that he can generate a larger shield, and Santis is there to poison the boss to speed up the run. And for the spells, you can use Guy's Renewal for supplementary healing, and for the second spell you can use anything else. You can use like Shield of Mercy for additional survivability, or maybe something else based on your needs. Alright, so I'll just use this team. If you like to benefit from Hagrid's increased max health, I highly recommend you to speed tune Hagrid to go first before Zedlux. So by the end, when you reach the wave 3 where the boss is located, all of the heroes will have at least 30% increased max health. And in order for your Zedlux to be able to one-shot these enemies, it needs to have at least 4000 attack and 200% critical damage. So the target sequence for this team would be to just target the boss. And I did not disable Jonathan's skills here because I do not need his Unhealable for this boss. So this allows him to use his special ability to heal himself and remove the defense down, so he will be able to sustain himself better. The reason being is because the water affinity heroes here are pretty weak, and the wood affinity enemies here will deal 50% more damage. So as you can notice, the yellow damage number indicates the true damage dealt based on his 10% of his max health. So Jonathan came in with the attack down, which increases our team survivability here because attack down will reduce the damage output. And whenever the enemies perform an AoE attack, you trigger Jonathan's AoE shield here. So that is the boss AoE attack, which generates the shield from Jonathan trait. Alright, the boss has now 20% health. I think it'll take around another like one more round here to take down the boss. Alright, the boss has 1% health left. I think Zetlux will finish him off here. Alright, so that's the end of the battle. Let's check out the battle report. Oh, I think this one is auto battle here. So we can only see the how fast that this team can complete. So it took around about 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And based from the performance of Jonathan here, he is quite good. However, the shield that's generated is pretty small. So hopefully the ace developers will be able to bump up his health a bit more. Or else, right, the shield that is generated by Jonathan here isn't sufficient enough to mitigate the damage dealt by the enemies, especially for Hell Mode Stage 1 and Hell Mode Stage 2, because those mobs will deal much more damage compared to Stage 12 here. Alright, so we are now in the Ash Magisteria Arcane Dominator Stage 12. So let's showcase Jonathan there. And currently I have Hydricell, Blackhorn, Jonathan and Santis. Hydricell will be my main damage nuker to wipe out the mobs of fire imps. Blackhorn is here to cleanse away the bomb damage, bomb negative effect, as well as perform healing. Jonathan is here to provide some AoE shield and apply the unhealable to prevent the boss from healing himself, as well as to apply the AoE defense down and attack down. Santis on the other hand will be supporting Hydricell to take down the boss quickly with her poison skills. And for the spells, you can use Guy's Renewal, Shield of Mercy, or other spells that you feel fit for your team. So let's see them in action. So if you are able to speed tune Jonathan to go first, he'll be able to apply the defense down, so it makes it easier for Hydricell to take down these enemies. Or if your Hydricell is strong enough, then you can just rely on her bonus attack to wipe out these enemies here as well. As you notice, there are at least 5 fire imps around the boss, and they cannot be targeted except for AoE attack. So whenever the boss performs this whirlwind attack, he'll be able to heal himself. So having an unhealable hero such as Jonathan here will speed up the run. Blackhorn is quite useful here because he's able to apply the attack down to reduce the damage output of the boss here. And this is where Jonathan applied the unhealable. So in the next 2 rounds, the boss will not be able to heal himself. So Jonathan applied the AoE defense down and attack down, which makes it easier to remove those 5 imps there. So the boss performed his whirlwind attack, but he wasn't able to heal himself, as you noticed there. Now the boss has 41% health left. Probably in around about two more rounds, we'll be able to finish off this boss. And Blackhorn already summoned his totem, which cleans away all of the fire bombs here. Which makes him one of the best candidates for healer for Ash Magisteria. Alright, so the boss has been defeated and we obtained some 6-star items here. So this run also took the same timing, which is around about 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Alright, so we are now in the Queen of Tides Stage 12 Arcane Dominator. So this is my team for Stage 12. I have Jonathan, Zetlux, Okobi and Santis. Jonathan is here to apply the unhealable to the boss to prevent the right target from healing her. Zetlux will be my primary damage dealer to wipe out the first 2 waves. And Santis is here to poison the boss so that we can take down the boss more quickly. And Okobi is here to support Santis as well as Jonathan with his additional negative effect, especially to remove the positive effect from the boss, and also apply no positive effect on the boss to prevent her from applying more positive effect on herself, such as the shield. And for the spells, I'm using Guy's Renewal and Sundering Purgatory. I'll be using this spell because I'll be disabling Jonathan's ability, so he'll prioritize on applying his unhealable through his basic ability here. Gaea's Renewal is for supplementary healing since there's no dedicated healer here. So let's see them in action. So the fastest debuffer here will apply the defense down first. Then finally Zlux will come in to clear out all the enemies here. If your Zlux isn't able to deal much damage, it's good to have at least two or three heroes to attack one of these minions here to lower the health down so that Zlux can perform the finishing kill and then gain the attack up buff to be able to finish off the remaining enemies here. Alright, we are now on the boss. I've already disabled both Santis and Jonathan's ability here. So Santis will prioritize on applying poison through her basic ability, whereas for Jonathan, he'll be applying the unhealable. And whenever the boss or enemies perform AoE attack, it will trigger Jonathan trait, Sacred Custodia, to generate the AoE shield. So the more health he has, the larger the shield he can generate. As you notice, my heroes does not take much damage and been attacked by AoE attacks from the enemies here. That's the unhealable placed by Jonathan, and he also deals true damage to the boss as well. So notice there's the purple flower in the middle of the battlefield. That one is basically the summon, a flower summon that was summoned by Okubi. And once you deal massive amount of inflict massive amount of poison, then the flower will explode. Alright, the boss has 2 more % health left. Be finished off by Zlux here. Alright, so that's the end of the battle. Let's see how fast we can finish this battle. So this battle took around about the same timing like Ash Magisteria and Roaring Tulpa, around about 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Alright, so we are now on the Queen of Tides stage 14, or also known as the Hell stage 2. So let's see how well Jonathan will perform here with his AoE shield. So instead of using Okubi here, I'll be using a legendary hero that is available for all players, who is Yolanda. She's obtainable through the tavern shop by exchanging your guild tokens for fragments. The reason why I need to use Yolanda here because of the first 2 waves, where they're protected by the big crab, which requires additional more damage for your damage dealers to wipe them out. So as usual, I'll be disabling Santi's abilities as well as Jonathan.
You are banished from this land.
So if you're using Yolanda in this team formation, you'll need to speed tune Yolanda to go before Zlux. So she'll be able to provide the bonus turn to Zlux. So on the second round, Zlux will be able to perform the finishing kill to wipe out all of these big crabs. Alright, we have already cleared wave 1, moving on to wave 2. It will be the same strategy. So Yolanda will be providing bonus turn as well as attack up buff to Zlux. Alright, so the health of this big crab is quite low, which makes it easier for Zlux to finish off the boss, finish off the big crab. And for the target priority in Hell mode stage 2, we'll just target the boss because we have the unhealable provided by Jonathan here. However, this team composition is lacking something, which is a hero who can remove the buff from the boss. So once she is able to get at least 4 buff on herself, through the blessing of the Empress, she'll be able to perform the Dragon Bomb, or also known as the Water Bomb, that can strip away those buff This will take some time to defeat the boss because yeah. Because the boss will keep on generating this shield on himself, which mitigates some of the poison damage to that shield. And as you notice that my Jonathan wasn't able to apply the unhealable because the boss resists it. So you need to build Jonathan with higher amount of focus, because the boss will be able to apply the resistant up buff on herself. I think I cannot click on it, but it's actually this one that improves her ability to resist negative effect.
Miracles happen to those who don't give up.
Alright, the boss has 3% health left. Alright, so we have already wiped out the boss here. Let's see how long it took. So for Helmut Stage 2, it took around about 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Around about 1 minute and 30 seconds more. Alright, so for the final content, I'll be showcasing Jonathan in Arena against two types of enemy team. The first enemy team will be the Arena Speed Nuke Team, which consists of Windstrikes and some damage nukers. So whenever Windstrikes buff the allies, I have Vance in my team, which allows him to gain a bonus turn to take down one of their damage dealers, and also provide an opportunity to use the Water Prison to stun one of their enemies here. I can either stun their damage dealer or their crowd controller here. And whenever Talia performs her attack, this does not generate Jonathan's AoE shield because her attacks are all single target attacks, although it attacks 4 my heroes here. So that is what you need to take note of when using Jonathan against Natalia. And here's some sneak peek on Andre. Reduce massive amount of damage to the enemy hero here. So I can use Jonathan's special ability to remove the defense down so that he will not receive more damage from the enemy here. That is Andre's slam that wiped out Natalia. Alright, so let me showcase Jonathan against another Speed Nuke Arena defense team. Probably the first one was too fast. So this time the enemy team would have Windstrikes, Adricia, Valeria and Evera. And this is one of the best showcase to show how Jonathan's AoE shield protects his allies here. So since the Windstrikes has provided some buff to her allies, this grants bonus turn to Vance immediately. So that's the AoE attack from Valeria, which generates the shield. So if the enemy team is able to perform an AoE attack again, they'll be protected by Jonathan's shield here. So the enemy uses Last Breath to revive one of their AoE nukers, Hydricia. So Hydricia can perform bonus attack, and it'll be not so useful against Jonathan's shield here, because Jonathan's shield will be able to protect allies in this scenario. So whenever Hydricia performs her first AoE attack, it triggers Jonathan's shield, then her bonus attack will eat that shield.
You are banished from this land.
Alright, so the enemy's Hydricia will take our turn now. So as you notice, my heroes does not take any damage. And to finish off, Vance will slice Evera here. Alright, so let me showcase Jonathan in the second enemy team, which consists of mostly like Metasia, Blackhorn or Bran or Hackwind, as well as like Lightwing Zachary. Alright, so whenever the enemy team have a buffer, This allows my Vance to take his turn to spam some attacks on the enemy here. So Jonathan's use case here is, instead of providing AoE shield, is used to apply the unhealable to the enemy here, so that those enemy who are equipped with a revival set, they will not be able to heal themselves through the gear set as well as through the spells such as like the totem healing, Mitesia's ultimate and special ability healing, as well as Blackhorn's continuous heal here. So this allows Jonathan to have several use cases. One is against the defense team, and one is against the damage dealer that deals AoE attack. So this one will be a slow run where my primary damage dealer will be only Vance to take down all of these tanky heroes. And I have paired Vance with Yolanda to provide him with some bonus turns as well as shield to protect him against enemy nuke attacks, like Lightwing Zachary, who is able to bypass my hero's defenses because his ultimate ability is able to ignore defense. Alright, so the Mitesia is down. So this is like a sneak peek on how powerful is Vance after the hero revamp here. So now I use Jonathan to apply the unhealable to Blackhorn to prevent him from healing. So the strategy here is to take out their reviver, take out the healers, then take out their support hero, and finally Lightwing Zachary. The reason why I left out Lightwing Zachary at the last because he'll be able to gain multiple bonus turn whenever you attack him, so it's best to keep him the last. Or if you have a powerful damage dealer who can wipe him out in like one hit, it'll be better as well. Alright, so we are almost close to taking down the Blackhorn. Yeah, Lightwing Zachary does not deal much damage with their basic or special ability here. The reason why I attack Lightwing Zachary is to have Vance to gain this immune buff so that he will not have a decreased attack or attack down from Bran to reduce his damage output. So now I just focus on taking down Bran. So now I'll just use Jonathan's special ability to waste his turn so that hopefully I can get an additional turn on Yolanda so that I can generate the big shield on Vance. Unfortunately, I think Vance is going down very fast with his lack of health here. Alright, Vance is down, so my next secondary primary damage dealer will be Jonathan here. So Jonathan is useful against Lightwing Zachary because even though if their Lightwing Zachary has this revival set on him, the unhealable will prevent him from healing himself. Alright, so I think one more round you'll be able to take down Lightwing Zachary with his true damage. So that's how you utilize Jonathan in Arena against Arena Speed Nukers as well as defense team. Alright, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And also you can ring the notification bell to stay up to date whenever I upload a new video to this channel. Hopefully this video helps you to decide whether you would like to build Jonathan to be able to farm the Queen of Tides stage 14 or stage 12, as well as the Ash Magisteria stage 12. And also he'll be quite useful for the No Man's Land dungeon, the Wrathful Flood for stage 10 and 11. And if you'd like to support me, you can head over to my patreon.com/Ayumilove, and to learn more about Awaken Chaos Era content, you can visit my website at ayumilove.net. Also, you can join my Discord, where I will link a link in the video description if you'd like to join my Discord in order to get some help through the community there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!